Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and this is going to kind of be like a hot take, if you will, on the anime series Hataraku Saibou, which I really thoroughly loved the first episode of when it aired. I had compared it over on my Facebook account to being very much reminiscent to One Punch Man in its pacing, the action elements, the comedy, and everything like that, the comedic timing. I was really wowed and won over by it in its first episode, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a hit of the summer 2018 season. Subsequent to which, now like 6 or 7 episodes in, as of the time of this recording, it is somewhat frustrating to me because it's just kind of a lather, rinse, repeat scenario. It's literally the same thing every single episode. Even though, it's mostly emphasizing the way the cells of the body are at work, hence the title, Cells at Work, how they combat different diseases and germs and this kind of thing, cancer in the most recent episode, but it's all cookie cutter. It's literally the same thing every episode. The only thing that ever changes is whatever the creature, whatever the disease is for that particular episode. Usually we begin with red blood cell and some awkward comedy and maybe an impromptu run-in with, white blood cell and stuff like that, the other intermingling cells at work in the series. Enter the disease in question, and we get a little bit of a tutorial. Where I'm watching it, every single episode has subtitle sort of boxes that crop up and explain the red blood cell and the macrophage and the platelets and all this kind of stuff, which I do have somewhat of an interest in. Going back to my passions and love, in school for things like science and biology and such like that. More so science and then, art and science fiction and English literature and such like that. Biology has always been somewhat of a fascination to me, but I'm not going to pretend I'm a doctor in training. Most of the information that is doled out in these episodes is going in one ear and out the other. I'm not going to retain any of that information. And so while it's mildly intriguing, it's not really entertaining to me as much as the first episode was, as much as the allusions to a One Punch Man sort of framework. And so as I've been watching it, I'm realizing I'm slowly, it's dawning on me, occurring to me, and I posted this as well just about 5-10 minutes ago before turning on my camera and deciding to go ahead and do a video talking about this as well for the benefits of all of those of you who are not actually following me over there, because I want to put this out there. It's occurring to me that I'm not enjoying it nearly as much as I thought I would. Subsequently to the first episode, I'm enjoying it lesser. So I'm not like, I don't like watching this, so it feels like a waste of time. It's more like work that I have to put effort into to sit down and watch it. It's not like that. But I'm not really enjoying it. And quite frankly, as I said in my Facebook post, I feel like there's actually a bunch of other arguably better series currently airing alongside Hataraku Saibou that are better. Effectively, entertainingly better. And it's kind of like the motivation to come on and talk about it is because I've seen and acknowledged a fair amount of love for this series, for the source material, the manga, the spin-offs. There's lots and lots, a crap ton of cosplay. There are already like figures being made and distributed for the series. It's that popular. But there is this level of dissatisfaction in watching the show, which, if I were to just pick randomly off the top of my head any other coinciding series that is more entertainingly engaging and investing And funny, in this particular summer 2018 anime season, how about Chio's School Road? Chio's School Road is insanely hilarious. There has only been one episode out of the 6 or 7 that have aired thus far that I did not find myself hysterically laughing to the point of tears. All the rest of them, that's exactly the case. I have been laughing incredibly, insanely through every single episode. It might be a top contender for one of my favorites, if not my favorite overall, of the summer 2018 anime season. For that fact, Chio-chan herself, I made a post to this degree both on my anime list and my Facebook account, saying that she is best girl to me of the summer 2018 season, and she's kind of my hero. Because out of all of the other stuff that I'm watching, I am constantly laughing by her misadventures. And I just feel like it's that much better, that much more engaging, that much more entertaining than Hataraku Saibou. Grand Blue is another example. Even though there were aspects to the first episode that I didn't really get into, the whole, mass consuming of alcohol, the sort of frat boy mentality and everything like that. I didn't know after the first episode would I still continue to watch it, but I have, because they've kind of dialed it back a little bit. All the incessant alcoholism and stuff, which I don't get into. And they've really balanced it out while dialing that back. They've upped the comedy and the absurdity, and all of the crazy facial expressions are hysterically funny. So again, a show that I had an actual problem with at the start has become more engaging, more engrossing, and just more hysterically entertaining, hysterically funny than I assumed Hataraku Saibou would be. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. I mean, for crying out loud, this show is funny and entertaining and has more characterization. Even though, yes, it's got fan service aplenty, but I mean, it actually has depth. It's not like just being an overt tutorial, which is what I feel like Hataraku Saibou is borderlining at this point, because there isn't enough personality. I mean, in one of the previous episodes, I saw a lot of people talking about, oh, red blood cell and white blood cell, oh, they knew each other as kids, there might be romance, we might be shipping, the ship has sailed. And I'm just kind of like, you're really grasping at straws, because maybe, but there's not enough of that really anywhere else in the series. Is that even conceivable? That these cells at work in the body, air quotes, are going to have relationships and things like that? Isn't that sort of maybe wasted time to think about it along those lines? I don't know. Even the male fantasy series Miss Caretaker of Tsunoharaso, which I'm watching, is funny, is engaging, has characterization. There's something to engage with and clasp onto. High Score Girl, a comedy series about, sort of late 80s, early 90s video gaming and relationships between its characters that are so emotionally, connective, and that interpersonal interconnectivity between them is engrossing, but it's also really funny and enjoyable. And these are just a small handful of series coinciding with Hataraku Saibou that I feel have much more going on to want to gravitate toward, to want to keep my eyes peeled while I'm watching. Not to knock Hataraku Saibou, not to knock any of its fans. And I'm sure people are going to watch this video and be pissed off and down thumb it and tell me I'm out of my mind or whatever. But that is what this discourse, social media discourse, is all about. Love it or hate it. Anything goes in the comments as long as we are respectful, mutually respectful. Treat others as you wish to be treated. We can agree to disagree. We can come at this from different points of view. I'm just sharing mine. This is my YouTube channel, and that's what I do here. That's all I can do. I'm just not enjoying it as much as I was. I mentioned Happy Sugar Life along the same lines. I compared it to a super duper high of the season, Steins Gate Zero, which is resounding and mind blowing every single episode. To what I thought at that time, Happy Sugar Life was kind of like the antithetical opposite end of the spectrum at that point for me, where it was just sort of, there was this mundanity about it. There was this lather, rinse, repeat aspect to it. And that's still true. I would definitely elevate Hataraku Saibou above Happy Sugar Life, but they are both falling into that lather, rinse, repeat sort of aesthetic for me. And, as I have been doing lately, I'd like to remind you guys, if you are watching this video, if you're enjoying it, if you enjoy the discourse, the topic of discussion, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, if you would be so kind as to consider supporting my efforts on YouTube, I have a PayPal donation URL, which will be in the description of all of my videos from this point on, where you can do that. You have the options to make a sort of a monthly contribution, similar to what you see on platforms like Patreon and things of that sort. If you wish for any notoriety, there may come a time where I'll want to mention people in videos and things of that sort. You have the ability to add along a little notation with whatever contribution you see fit to make, whether you want to do it on a monthly basis or a one-time thing. It is not a requirement. It is not, necessary to continue watching and engaging with me. But if you so choose, it would be, very, very much appreciated if, you sought that out, if you thought about doing that. So, yeah, otherwise, that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.